do. All right. We are. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah, he said we are.
All right. Are we in business? It look like it is. Hey, y'all. We're trying to get our stuff together, y'all. It look like we live. I don't know. I can't see. I want to make sure. Okay.
So that should be on.
Mm.
That should be on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It is on my personal channel. I did not want it on my personal channel, but it's on our personal channel. How y'all doing out there? This is your girl Goldie, and we are setting up a new setup. So as you can see, hello everybody. We are right here in Silent Recording Studios. This is Girl Goldie, and I got right here on my left hand side is
Duchess.
the Duchess. It's been a while. We haven't been here since I think we only did one show since the new year.
Yeah.
And we want to say hello and thank you so much for tuning in. We may not have a lot of people tuning in because I did not share a link. I did not know I didn't know what the setup was going to be, but here we are. We're here. You see me? It is Phoenix, home of Phoenix Group LLC. It is Phoenix Rise Productions. So would you like me to share the link?
Yes.
Okay, I can inbox you the link.
Inbox me.
Yeah, I'm gonna inbox it to you on Facebook.
Okay.
And then you are going to share it. Is that okay?
I'm gonna share it, y'all.
She gonna share it, y'all.
I'm gonna share it, y'all.
All right, you guys. So what we're doing, this is our podcast that we've done, the Get Lit Convos here on Fridays. We're a little behind schedule. We're supposed to start at 4 o'clock, and we working out our technical glitches. Thank you so much. We got Christian on our at the command station. Whoa, what's wrong? You're not gonna be able to do that. You gonna
Like the mic is.
the mic is too far in your face.
No, it's too high.
It's too high.
I'm short. Hold up. Maybe my chair goes up.
Oh, your chair might go up. That might be. Oh, here you come. Here you come. He fixing it.
Thank you. Oh, look at that.
There you go. Thank you.
He said bring my mic up a little bit.
Huh?
He said bring my mic up a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you're one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah,
you forget that either.
All right. There you go.
Don't you forget that.
No, you're not number one. You're just one
No,
on there.
I'm number one.
in your life. Yeah, that's true. In your life, you're number one. That's right. All right. But that's okay. All right. So I'm gonna send this over to you right now, and so next week, you guys, we're gonna have our theme song and everything from a group out of Washington, and it's called the Positive Agenda. If you ever listen to our podcast from before, we've had the song, the intro, and it's going to be the outro. So next week, you're going to see a whole lot something different because we're going to have everything together. We will. We promise. So what's going on, Miss Carla?
Everything and nothing.
And what does everything and nothing mean?
There's everything going on, but nothing happening.
No, it is a lot happening. What are you talking about?
There's not a lot happening.
She got a lot happening. She has a lot happening. So if you all are tuning in to us right now, we are in Dubuque, Iowa. And in Dubuque, Iowa, we just newly elected a mayor. We have a new mayor. And his seat is now open in the ward we are in. So the mayor used to be the councilman in the ward we live in. And now his seat is open. And what's happening is there are 7 candidates, which is it broke the last record of 6 candidates running for 1 seat in this small town, which means guess how many votes. I know everybody don't know this, but when I was just amazed how many votes it would take to get you to past the primary and to the main general election to win. She has to have. I didn't tell you who it is, but the person has to have 150 votes to even get to the general election. That's exactly how 7 people are running for the 4th ward. And so I'm going to tell you, Carla Anderson Duchess, is running for the fourth ward. So can you? So doing this, what you're doing? How many people are in our ward? Do you know?
I don't know. I want to say maybe 5,000, 6,000, somewhere in there.
Really? We
Yeah.
got that many in our ward?
I think so.
That's a lot of people. Wait a minute.
I'm not really sure.
Huh?
Wait a minute. That might be.
It can't be. Because
No,
it's
it's
almost 100,000 people in Dubuque County, period.
right.
And it's 70 something thousand people in the city of Dubuque, I believe. The city
Okay.
area. I
Okay.
think it's like close to 70, 80,000.
Okay.
And so by ward, where we are, since this is the most metropolitan area of Dubuque, the city of Dubuque, then that means that it has to be it got to be, maybe it is some thousands of people then.
Just in the ward alone.
Yeah, in the ward alone.
This one is, I think, the largest ward.
So that means if everybody that can vote that's over the age of 18, which I'm sure is thousands of people,
Mhm.
if everybody voted, there's a possibility you can probably get more than 150 votes.
I'm hoping.
We're hoping so.
I'm hoping.
We're hoping so.
I'm hearing a lot of good feedback.
Yeah.
A lot of good feedback.
Uh-huh.
Next week I'll be with the BVM, which is the nuns,
Okay.
and they vote.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gracious enough to not accept the date on the day of their bingo day.
Okay.
You don't want to mess with the bingo.
No, don't mess with the bingo.
But yeah, I'll be there to speak with them, and I know what their main concerns are because I've worked with them before. Then I have the meet and greet tomorrow
Okay. Yes, so that's right.
at 2:00 at Monk's,
Yep.
so they can come out and meet me and ask me a bunch of questions. Okay, not a bunch, y'all. I don't want to be talking for 2 hours.
Yeah, so I have stepped in to be her campaign manager, so I will be there to make sure everyone, it just be maybe we have an hour, because an hour I think is enough time. If they need any more, if there's any more questions, they can ask after you gave your spiel. You shouldn't have to even be an hour. I think like you do a 20-minute thing,
Mhm.
and then they ask questions. That will probably take an hour. Then after that, then you can get to know each person individually. The last time we had a meet and greet, it was I think it was almost 4 hours.
That was the very first one.
That was the very first one, and mainly because people like to talk, and people like to hear themselves talk. But that's a whole nother story.
Is it now?
I don't know what we're talking about today.
Well, yeah, so we're going to talk about the messiness.
Dun dun dun.
Well, it's a matter of where people try to get in where they think they can fit in, not realizing that they can't fit.
And I want to say that makes sense. That makes sense.
We have. It's unfortunate that we cannot gather in a small area without causing drama.
And when I did that video last night, yes, I was eating my soup. I was really
Smacking
hungry.
on it.
I was smacking. Yeah, I was. Because it was really good. It was really, like, and it was kind of, I have to dilute it too because the ham sitting in it, and once it's setting, the seasoning sat in there, and it's a little salty. So that broth, I only put broth and ham in it to make the seasoning and whatever. But anyway,
Yeah, you were smacking.
I was smacking.
Yes.
Anyway, but I was talking more than smacking. So I did say that on the live I did last night about how people don't understand that it's enough for all of us to get at the table, basically, sit at a table.
Right.
Everybody has a role to play in this community, and anywhere you live, everyone has their role to play. For our population, especially. And I would say, actually, any population that is working class all the way down to poverty, go to church, right? And then the church, it tells you about how you're supposed to work together, how everybody is part of the body of Christ. And somehow people are totally dismiss it. And they cannot throw out the fact that they're not religious or they don't even go to church. Okay, so let's make it a little simpler than that. Our good friend Antonio pretty much said it. Like, we are all, like, he gave the analogy of a Power Ranger. Each of us have a different function in a body, and our community is a body that's maybe part of a larger body, but we are a part of something that we all can't do the same thing, and for some reason people ain't figured that out.
Because they want to attach. This is what
They're
they do.
parasites.
Well, no, this is what they do.
Oh.
They speak of manifesting. They believe they can manifest everything without doing anything, and
Oh.
they want to latch on to those that are so far past manifestation that they think they can get what somebody else has through osmosis.
Wait a minute. So you telling me they think they genies?
They think there's something.
They think well, they ain't magical.
Well, think about it. They want to play the victim role, and instead of being proactive, we're just going to be not active at all. We're going to play the victim role. It's their fault. It's their fault. Not once looking and say, oh, maybe I can do something for myself and better myself.
And then when they do something for themselves, they still sucking the energy out of other people because they're like parasites.
Okay, we'll go with parasites.
No, I'm seriously, because you have people that will talk and say I want to do something at a venue, right?
Yeah.
And I want to do something and I really want to go, and then I go to different venues because I like the place, and somehow they charge me money that I do not have. Now, mind you, all these places I go to, there's one in particular that I do not like, and mainly because I know I talk a lot of stuff. I know I talk stuff about the venue,
Okay.
right? But all the places that I'm trying to go to charge money, and the one venue that I claim I do not like do not. I have to then go to the venue that I've been telling everybody that I don't like and I don't like their energy, but now I can go in there for free and do the things I was trying to do at the venues that told me I had to pay them the money I do not have.
Well, that goes back to me saying that, a dog will not lie where he shits. And, some people choose to prove that wrong
It's okay.
on a regular. There are people that can get into venues and they don't have to pay.
That is correct.
The quality of their work speaks for them, and honesty goes a long way.
And I am totally, and authenticity. If you're authentic and your true self, of course it's gonna go a long way because it's it's reciprocity, because
Yes.
they know. Here's the thing about the things that we do, and I know the reason why it's not hard for us to do things out here, especially especially my husband and I, Matt and I, been out here. We've been out here 9 years. It is not hard for us to go somewhere and do something because they know we're going to bring people, especially him. He books shows. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
books the shows. He get the acts. He interacts with these people. It's really hard to, no one really tells him no or going to do a lot of crazy stuff because they know his integrity. He has integrity. A lot of these other people want to run up behind where other people have made a name for themselves.
Right.
They want to get on a coattail. They want to be like a leech and try to slither their way in, and then not realizing that you have to put it. You still got to put in the work because people see people like that. Almost every day.
Yes.
Businesses know hustlers when they see them. Like, I don't understand why you think you smooth talking somebody and you gonna.
Well, hold up now.
Not all businesses.
No, hold up.
Okay, she told me hold up because she gonna break it down for me.
So you have to consider where the demographics the person is in.
Right.
Then look at the businesses they deal with.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
People are followers. So if you see somebody else getting away with running game, you're gonna think you can do the same thing.
Okay.
So when you have people that are running game out of their businesses on the daily, coming in taking jabs every now and then, well, the next person's gonna try to do the same thing because that original person has never been checked.
Yeah.
So that's the situation we have out here
True.
with a few people.
Okay.
And if instead of elevating, they want to degrade. And when you call it out, you're the one that's wrong.
Right. And that was the thing I was saying yesterday in the video. I was talking about my video that there are people that have true intentions, and there are people that want to shoot these people with good intentions down. Like, What have they done to you? No, these people haven't done anything to you. You just don't like them because it challenges who you are, and that's a you problem. That's a personal problem.
Right.
So if that's a personal problem, why are you out here messing up in everybody else's stuff? Why are you trying to shit on what they doing? You know what I mean? Because like you can be easily doing what you do. If you say you are this type, this is your profession, and this is what you're doing, stay in that lane and do that. Do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Because like right now we have a podcast. I've been doing podcasting. We've been doing this since I think 2015, right? I get on YouTube. I used to do it back then. I don't think it was as easy to do live. I can do it from my phone. I think
Right.
at first, right? And then I started on Facebook, and then we had a show in London that we were, you know, uh, every week
Okay.
when we interview people and things like that. The guy from King Creole and the Coconuts, Coty Mundy.
Okay.
He not King Creole Coconuts. Dr. Buzzard and the Savannah Band.
Dr. Buzzard.
You remember them? Dr.
No.
Buzzard and the Savannah Band.
No.
Shay Shay LaFon.
Nope.
Tommy Mottola.
Oh,
Live on
don't do that.
alone.
Don't do that.
He lost his lady.
No.
I'm gonna play the song. You're gonna hear it.
No. No.
I'm gonna
good.
play the song.
I'm good. I'm good.
You don't know the song.
That's okay.
You do. It's not okay because you need this a classic song. I'm gonna play it and you're gonna hear it, and I want you to know that this is a song. Anyway, we interviewed people that were of significance, right?
Okay.
And it was a London radio. We had a lot of people, and I'm gonna tell you, I met a particular person out here, brought them in because it was a suggestion because they were media. They were this. They called themselves media at the time, and it was two people, and they were trying to get into the business,
Okay.
right? They were trying to get into the business, and they wanted to throw parties. They wanted to do things. It wasn't podcasting, but one was rapping, and the other person was her promoter and manager. Anyway, they wanted to do these do a lot of things out here, and we brought them in to interview them.
Okay.
And it was a really good turnout because we had people outside of Dubuque that were listening, and they were encouraging them and everything. There was no one here in Dubuque listening, and these are people. It was a couple of folks, but they're friends. You know what I mean? Even back then, and see, this particular person don't remember this. There was a lot of people that were not listening to them, but there was more people on the other side of the pond encouraging them, asking them questions, all that type of thing. Here we are, 5 years later. They're not together. These people, they split, creative differences or whatever. This one particular person is still here, and they don't remember that. See, these are type of stories that they don't remember. So all I'm saying is that what I've been doing, my husband and I've been doing it for a very long time. We didn't just wake up yesterday and say we're going to do a podcast.
Right. Well, it's the same thing with my blog. I've been doing it forever. Then I started podcasting before we met. I finally started doing it.
You did. Yep.
And then it's interesting how it comes out of the woodwork once we connect it.
Mm-hmm.
Once we connect it, we've had a lot of people come at us.
And yeah, because we're being productive, and that's a good thing. People don't really talk about you unless you
Doing something good.
doing something good.
And they're not a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, nobody said they couldn't be.
And it's so funny because I invite people to do things all the time, and basically the ones that want to come in and do things, they want to come in and see what we're doing so they can take and go and create their own. Like if I do hair, I'm not about to do a podcast unless I'm podcasting about my hair techniques. I'm not about to start talking about life and all that kind of stuff because no, the only way I'm going to do something like that is because I'm branding my business,
Right.
and it's a thing like a barbershops. I can see if now it is a guy that do barbershop series,
Okay.
and he's talking while he's cutting hair. He's done this. I think it's been almost 7 years since he's been doing it, right?
Okay.
And it's a podcast, and then he's now doing podcasting. He has his own thing. I forgot how long it is, but it's a radio. I think he's on Clubhouse too. I can't think of the guy's name right now. But he started off setting up his camera in his barbershop.
Well, out here, if something like that was tried, yeah, I don't think it would make the air because of things that are said, things that are done.
Yeah.
So it's best. But if you're going to do something, ask the people that's already doing it.
And that's too much like right. They're not going to do. They don't want to. Here's the thing, and just because, and I'm gonna say I'm being personal. I'm going to speak for myself right now. I know a lot of people do not care for me. I know a lot of folks don't care for me, and there's people that will talk about me to people that are curious about me. So a lot of people have this thing that they like to ride with their clique and they like to side with their friends. They don't want to, they're out of curiosity. They come around. They'll try to play both sides. They'll talk to me, try to be friendly with me, and then they'll try to come in and see what I'm doing. They try to, do all these and look at what I'm doing. And then they go back to the people that that told them. And as soon as I do something that looks like anything that their friends told them, then it's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So I know for a fact that people, why they do this, I don't know, but it's been done all my life. And then here's the thing, I'm doing something good and I'm not going to be sidetracked by it, because there are people that want to be a stumbling block. So these the type of situations.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's so strange. Like, why do we have to even, what is wrong with you? Like, I was living my best life before you came and bothered me. What do you want?
That they want the same best life, but they want to have it for themselves. To where I come in and say, you know what? There's room for everybody in this community.
It really is. And I've invited people to come and come be on the podcast. Come do this. Even if you start your own, I'm okay. That's good. That's good. Let's cross promote. But I guarantee you, if I bring them on right now to do what we are doing right now, I guarantee you it would not be something. They would not promote this unless they're on it.
I also think that if you invite certain people, they would think it's about them only.
Yes.
I have a problem with that.
Yes.
Especially with us bringing people into what we're trying to do, that it becomes about them.
Yes. And my husband, yeah.
It's very interesting to watch the dynamic around us now, and even with the collective, people trying to do God knows what. Everyone's got an agenda.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
They act like we want something, and they don't understand we're not getting rich doing any of this.
And not even that. I said it last night on the video. Like, people, they don't even want the money, and they just want their name. If their name is mentioned, they're gonna throw us under the bus just so they can be in the limelight and shaking hands and skinning and grinning with folks. That's pretty much the thing they want.
It's the crust of the whole bread.
Wait, and it's like, and I said some people don't even realize I've introduced them to wealthy people, and they don't even know it.
They don't.
They have no, they don't. But they've been introduced to wealthy people, and they don't even know it. And with that, you're still acting up because you're trying to undercut me because you're going after names. I was just told last night I have a direct connection to a source. Direct connection. He was like, "Hey, I can do A, B, and C for you. Don't worry about it." Direct connection. And I'm not even going to say what it is on air, but I got a direct connection. That's pretty much a lot of things we do. You know why? Because we built a trust. I do not wake up every day to see who I'm going to mess over. Like right now, this setup. We moved, and my husband, Mr. Zeals, and Asylum Recording Studios, he made up, and he told me, he's like, "You all can set this up, and this is for you and you only. We're not doing anybody else." He said, "This is not," he said, "because if they do, they're going to pay. And if they, everybody else gonna pay, well, I'm not saying we're not, but we get a discount. But they have to come in. They're gonna have to bring their own equipment. They own everything. And if they want the space, that's it. But they're gonna have to figure it out because he booked most of the time, and it's like the only available day."
I think as far as anybody else doing it, they feel they can do it better, then go ahead and do it better.
And you know what? More power to you. Here's the thing. There are a lot of people that I started podcasting with or doing shows with. They are doing it better. They have 2 and 3 cameras, and they got the fancy stuff going on. It is phenomenal.
They can go set up at the library.
Yeah, but the people here, they wanted to come in here. Everybody wanted to come, get up close with us, and butter us up because they, and like I said last night, I can smell y'all a mile away. I just want y'all to know that I'm tired of being fake with it. I'm just cordial.
Right. I see everything coming, and I stand back. I watch. People like, "Why don't you talk?" And what am I going to talk about? Because I hear so many different things, and then I see something totally different, like you said last night, and I'm just like, yeah, I wrote the book on that.
Yeah.
I'm in my 50s.
So am I.
And it's just, that's like kid stuff.
It is it's amazing, and these are type of things because we have children at the ages of some of these younger people that are trying to get in. We have children their age. It's not a match. It's not something I'm gonna go toe to toe with them about
Right.
because we're not equals. Like you can act up and act crazy and all that, but I have a bigger wisdom to the point that you don't even know. You don't know that you don't know.
They don't want to know that
They
they don't
don't.
know.
They don't, and they gonna go as far as they can say it. They think they know everything, and here's the thing: I get it because when I was younger, I thought I knew enough. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
and now that I knew everything, I felt I knew enough, and anything that I didn't know, I went to go look for it, and I wanted to find out on my own. I'm still kind of like that. Let me find out on my own. Let me work this out on my own. But I'm not gonna like shut people down because like somebody made a conversation today talking about Kim and Kanye saying, taking up. I said, I'm so tired of talking about them 2Ks. And what people are missing that these are children involved. These children are going to be affected by this. Both of them are attention whores.
Put it this way: if they were concerned about the children, we would never hear about what's going on. Okay, so
Right.
they have people that are purposely putting this information out here, kind of like what we just went through 4 years of. We're just gonna leak this out to the
Yeah.
press and then say, respect our privacy.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it because one thing about it, we I bet you Denzel and his wife had some stuff going on. We didn't know about it.
For sure.
Like everybody has problems. So why is it that we have to hear about this every day? And here's another thing: people that get drawn in with this. You all get so invested in this. If you're so invested in what's going on in somebody's relationship and you taking sides, you have neighbors, people that you know are going through stuff, the same thing pretty much, and you all are talking about how you can, I guess, empathize with Kanye. These some black guys saying that sometimes it ain't always a man. Okay, but you're more invested in what's going on with him. You have a friend that's going through stuff. You got a friend that's going through pretty much the same thing. There are girls that's going through stuff. So you all are out here being so invested in these celebrities. There are people right now in your community. If you are really cared about children, why isn't the school? Why aren't you at your kid's school?
While they're being called the N-word.
Exactly.
I'm hearing that a lot.
Oh my
lately.
God. Well, one thing I can tell you, my business partner, her son, I didn't talk to her, but something happened. Her kid was called that, and she went to the school. I know she did this morning, and this has been happening a lot lately.
I've been hearing it from several different people. Um, People, y'all need to get into schools. You really do. You can't parent from your couch. It's impossible. And a lot of you might have to work, but have a family advocate. You can
You
have
need
that.
an advocate.
You can have that advocate go in there because they don't want to teach black history. Okay, fine and dandy. But then we don't need to know about the Nazis.
We don't need to know my history.
Let's just say that America is white and go on with it. Let us go on our way because our schools, statistically, are better anyway. So leave us alone. We can educate ours.
Yeah, I mean, we can just, and that's the thing. I'm all for us getting our own schools together. We can get a building, get a permit. We can become a big homeschool center. We can do. It's a lot of different things we can do. We can teach our own children, and I think because they feel they control what we teach, they think they're about to control everything we teach. There is a worldwide web of information
Yeah.
and libraries full of books that anybody, the more you withhold something from someone, the more curious they're going to be. That's if these people know anything, that's what they did with music, with sex. You know,
Yeah.
like anytime you start trying to cover it up, the brain is going to go and find out, why are you covering this up? You can only do so much hiding, and it's too late. You can't unring a bell. This is not going to go the way it did 50 years ago. That's not going to happen.
Well, I would still put it in their face because think about this. You were okay with telling the story of other people being oppressed. Now, our generation, they're not okay with that story coming out because they don't want the kids to feel bad about their race. But as you threw it in our face about somebody being beaten for reading,
Right,
you didn't have a problem throwing it in our face.
right, right. Absolutely.
So you were not beaten. We're just telling a history of how we got to where we are now,
Hmm.
and your butt hurt about it.
Yeah.
Well, for generations, we have feelings as well. And it's okay to teach the oppression, but not tell why there was oppression in the first place. We can't talk about the oppressor because they'll get offended. Well, if it didn't happen to you or your family, be lucky. Say thank you. A lot of us, black and white, have family members that have been on either side. Some of them both.
Yeah.
And they don't even realize it. Uh, the person that commented on your wall that says that they're a genealogist, and yes, I am calling you out.
Okay.
The football coach for the Miami Dolphins is a black man. Stand in my face and tell me he's not. Because then I'll show you a picture of my grandfather and you tell me he's not a black man. Genealogy and DNA is two different things. The man himself said he is a black man. His father is black, his mother is white. Why is it such a big deal?
Well, he did kind of recant that because he did get on there and say he's a human.
Well,
He don't like talking to. He like, why do I have to identify with either? I'm biracial.
Yeah, he said that first.
Yeah.
And they came after him for saying he's human.
Okay.
And
And
that's
then
when
he identified as black.
That's when he said, my father is black, my mother is white, and I
Mhm.
lived with my mom.
Yeah.
So why it became such a big, you know what? I remember when the first black quarterback played in the NFL, they never talked about the man couldn't read until after he was done playing. He could not read his first contract. Why don't we focus on why these knuckleheads are getting through college and they're not educated instead of worrying about the race of the coach?
True. And I have something to add to that. There was a man, a professor. He did not know how to read. I think I don't know if he's still living. White man, taught college. He was an educator and could not read. Degree, an educator and could not read. It was almost 40 years before he learned how to read when his wife, I think it was his wife started paying attention that he couldn't read. And he had to admit it because it was something that happened. Then she figured it out. And of course she taught him how to read, but she was like, well, how did you move around? How did you? He was a finesser. He was able to finesse people to do homework for him. He was, and this, see, that's that privilege, because there's no way in the world
that would happen with us.
There's no way in the world that would even happen.
No, because at one time our people were beaten for reading.
Yeah, no.
Now it's reading is fundamental. Well, guess what? They still missed the message, folks.
So yeah. So can you imagine how many other? Well, we already know the former president was not smart, and they had help getting him through school. There's a lot of, think about how many people we work 3-4 times harder than white kids. That's why we're the most educated in the country. We are the most educated. Black women and black men. We are the most educated. Even, and the reason why it's a higher number of women because more of us go to college. But the ones that do not go to college, black men and women are the most educated. You know why? Because we have to prove ourselves.
Right.
Hard. We got to be twice as smart. We got to know what we're talking about, because when we don't, it's thrown in our face. So it's one of those things that it's been a condition. But then we have people that look like us that tell us we know.
Right, but even with the struggle of having to be better, they still deny us jobs. They still tell us we're underqualified. There's always something. You can come in there with a PhD, and they will find some reason not to bring you on. But as soon as you try to do something on your own and separate, hey, everybody want to come running down. I want a piece of this. I want a piece of that. And then they start acting funny when you say, hey, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Because I know how to get the grants. I know where to get the money from. Y'all still trying to figure it out. In the process, you're taking everybody else's money along with you.
Right.
It doesn't work anymore. It's a new day.
Yes, it is, because I am so grateful for the younger generation. And when I say the younger generation, it looks like Gen Z.
Okay.
Is that generation. Because they are, even not saying that none of us questioned everything. These babies coming out questioning everything. It's like they have a new awareness that we are in awe. Like, Like, what did you say? We sit up listening to them. Like, okay, they got some. What they talking about? We pull up a chair and listen to children. I was interacting with a younger person recently, and she was going on and on. She knows the history of the country. She knows about. She's maybe 12, maybe 13 years old. Ruby Bridges talked about the integration, why she feels that integration should not have been a thing. She just went on and on, and it's not just something that she heard her grandmother say,
Right.
because her grandmother sat with her. She was a civil rights worker. She marched with Martin Luther King. The grandmother did a lot of things, right? And she talks about the migration. The girl was talking about the Great Migration, all this. She was saying things. It wasn't just what she was repeating. She actually knew this stuff. She was saying things, and I'm thinking like, oh, I forgot all about that. So her saying this, and then the friend that she was talking to, they was having this dialogue, and then the third person joined in. I'm listening to these young women have this dialogue, and I'm like, okay, so they are in a space that they think they can't voice themselves, and I'm like, and I said, yes, you can. You are in a perfect position to do that. And we think our voice has been taken because, for one, the city we live in, we always think we have to ask for permission for anything.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get me going there.
Yeah, we think we have to ask for permission. And I take on I can't think of the person, the general, where was she, that in the army that came up with the quote. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yes. I don't know who said that, but
It was a woman, I believe.
I've always heard that, and everybody knows I'm just the rule breaker anyway, and I never ask for permission for anything. I'm the one that likes to kick doors down so others don't have to. And out here, I feel like I have to kick doors.
Well, yeah. I mean, kick doors, break glass ceilings. Because because what we are finding out, we're not the only ones. People of color in general, black, brown, Asian, Middle Eastern, a lot of us are in a position that we have to make ourselves be seen. And the more we stay in the background, the more it's going to stay the same.
Well, it's not a matter of actually being seen. It's what people are looking at. Change that. You know, don't have it that every time they walk down the street, there's somebody acting stupid on the street. You know,
Okay.
you go down and kids are with the pants down, pull them up. You know, even though they know what it means when your pants are hanging down, they don't care. They think it's fashionable. They don't know it means that I'm available.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. You can tell them now till you blue in the face. It's the fact that our generation and generation before us have been these figures of authority. Because the generations before the boomer generation had just were like, what, a couple of decades out of slavery. So they had parents. So 4 generations. We're looking at 4 generations of people that have passed down. By the time it got to us, it got watered down. Because I'm like, I'm not ready to be punching on my kids because why?
Right.
You know what I mean? So by the time the corporal punishment and being and punishing children and do as I say and not as I do, that kind of thing, all of that's been watered down. But there's still a stigma there. So us telling people, especially young people, that you should be doing it, you shouldn't be doing that, blah, 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 even if we bring it in suggestive, they still don't really want to hear it because of what they've been programmed to listen to. Unless there's a unless we are in church and they go to church. If I was a mother, if not a mother, but if I was an elder or someone in a church right now and I was on a ministry team and all that, and I get to fussing at the kids and I look like I'm living upright and you don't see me doing nothing else, I can easily go in and chastise children with my mouth, and some of those kids will act like they're doing right, but they'll turn around and not. So that's still not serving anything. It's still not working, but it works for that moment. We come from a place.
Yeah, we come from a place where if your neighbor told on you, you was getting your behind whipped.
Exactly.
And then getting it whipped when your father got home.
Exactly. But now we are in a place now. We came from that. Now we're in a place of you're gonna figure this out on your own, but I will help you navigate.
See, I'm still in the mindset, and I think I spanked Nicholas once, and I think I'm the one that cried. So there was always a better way with him. These kids need their ass whooped. I'm sorry. They need an ass whooping. The parents need an ass whooping.
I did not say that, y'all.
I don't care.
Here's the thing. I think life needs to whoop their ass. I'm gonna keep it real. She said they need an ass whooping. I think life need to beat. I think life need to beat their butts. And here is the thing. Life is whooping their ass, but they're still playing victim. I said this last night. We got to get out of the mentality, get out of this thing that people are doing things to you, because what you don't realize, everything that you do, you putting it on the backs of your children. Anything that you're doing, if something's going on in your family, in your household, and you think it's not affecting you, it's affecting your children. Your children are picking up your behaviors. Your children are going to be, if somebody decide that, okay, for instance, the guy Amir that was at his cousin's house that got shot.
Okay.
He was at his cousin's house. You can't wake up in 9 seconds. 9 seconds is not enough time to wake up because you startled.
Right.
You get startled. Somebody coming in. But the point is, and I'm not victim shaming or anything, but these are the type of things that we need to start looking at when we have to take responsibility. First of all, I am very guarded about my children.
Me too.
I pray my children, and I do it now, even though we're not around. I give them wisdom. Like, if you don't feel right, don't go.
Right.
I didn't never like being associated with with family members and friends of my children that they go hang out with them or want to go spend a night, because I know what type of activity was going on in the house. You're not going over there. And being that that's what type of household Amir was, he was there and visiting, they had police called on them a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on. So it was a warrant being served for his cousin. But they're trying to play it and trying to give an excuse, but the thing is, you still shot an innocent black man.
Right.
It was a no-knock warrant, which means, why are you pulling guns? Nobody shot at you. Just going in. First of all, it's in the middle of the night. Why are you doing this in the middle of the night? Knock on the door. If they don't answer, open. Then you whatever. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of different tactics. I know they train for this stuff, but in the responsibility on this side is, how are you raising your children?
Yeah, but when you try to sit down, and I don't want to say counsel, but when you hear them talk and you talk with them, my kid doesn't do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's the first thing that you hear.
Okay.
There was a story similar to that in Chicago where the mother was sleeping with her kids, and they had a no-knock warrant, and they lived in like a duplex.
Mm-hmm.
And the cops knocked on the wrong door. They took the battering ram. They basically knocked the whole door out of the wall. Period. Jam and everything. Handcuffed the kids. Handcuffed the mother because she's trying to protect her kids. And then realized 20 minutes later they had the wrong house. She just won the lawsuit for the damage that they have done. That happened a few years ago.
Wow.
And since I've been here, they finally reached a settlement. Here's what I'm thinking. These people that settle, don't settle. Don't settle.
Mm-hmm.
Stop taking these lowball settlements, because what they're doing is they're saying, if you take this settlement, this is all we're offering. Well, you're going to keep sitting there, get more, because your attorney gets a huge chunk of that, y'all.
Mm.
So you want to get them for whatever you can get them for. And then put it in the paper. Put it in all the papers. Don't say, well, it's non-disclosed. No, that's a condition that they want you to do. The people that are prosecuting want you to keep it hush-hush. We have become a race of people that are used to being told, keep it quiet. I come along and I say the quiet part out loud. You don't have to like it, but you can't deny its truth.
Yeah, because the payments of settlements, they're like, oh, just give them some money, they'll be all right. But the thing is, no. Like, they got to be at a point, like I found out today. Now, if you all haven't been watching, I haven't watched the trial. I didn't watch the trial. I had, bits and pieces of the trial with the Potter chick, the police. But today they brought the verdict down.
I missed the verdict because I walked out. I was watching the impact statements.
Yeah.
And then I watched her attorney stand up and basically say, when this has happened to other officers, they've gotten probation. I don't know what year he thought he was in.
I don't either, but it seemed like it worked because she only got 2 years. Oh, you didn't hear that?
No, I hadn't heard the verdict yet.
She got 2 years in jail, and I think only gonna do like 18 months because she did like 5 like time served. So she's gonna do maybe less. She's gonna do less than 2 years.
I hope the family comes
I hope they
against her
sue.
with a federal
They-
charge
yep.
of a hate crime.
Yep, they need to.
Because had that not been a young black man,
Mm-hmm.
that wouldn't have happened. But I also saw the comments where people were like, he should have stopped. He should have waited. He was stopped at the time, and he got ready to take off. That's when she said, taser, 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 and shot him. His foot hit the gas in the car.
Right. He went. That's when because that's a reaction. You get shot. What you gonna do?
That's a natural reflex in his
Right.
foot. So no, it wasn't that he was disobeying an order and drove off. It was
She shot him, and that was a reaction. That was a reactionary reflex.
right. But the whole thing is that wasn't her call in the first place. She shouldn't have even been there.
That was that same thing with the Rittenhouse boy. He shouldn't have had his ass in Wisconsin in the first place when he is an Illinois resident. But I digress.
Look who's funding the attorney fees for these people.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you, it's public information, and you can go back in. You will see your Republican representatives are sponsoring these people.
They are. And it's follow the money. Follow the money because even with Zimmerman, of course, his lawsuit has been thrown out. How was he able to file a lawsuit against the family and the witnesses against him? It's almost like it's a sick tactic of his to constantly terrorize them because he feel he can. And now, because he sued Crump too, so you already know what's about to happen. He sued him too, and it's 10 years later after Trayvon Martin has died. Zimmerman has lost his lawsuit. He was suing him for $100 million. They need to turn around and now sue him. And they did not take it up to the federal court, did they?
No.
They need to file new charges against federal, like open up the case, have the FBI look into it, because now it's time for him, because he's been terrorizing these people for the longest. It's time for them they need to get him. He is a catalyst of a lot of this stuff. Because, I mean, even though black men were being killed before, but he was the one, it's like it set a precedent of young men being murdered. Besides the fact, that was around the time, was that the same year that the Mike Brown got killed? Didn't he get killed like months later?
I think so.
So all this like set a precedent. It was like, it's okay because you're going to get away with it. Now it's a new one that you keep try it if you want to, because now you about to get, unless you're a white woman that cry, now you're about to get brought up on charges. And because there are now people are standing up to this stuff that's not right. Not everybody, but this needs to be more. This is why they don't want a black woman on the Supreme Court.
Well, they're going to get one.
They're going to get one, but this is why they don't want a lot of us. And this is why, and we're going back to us now, because we're talking about we have to go all the way out, and again, we're not coming back in. Black women that come together is not rare, but people don't want to see it. You and I get together. A lot of folks, not that they scared, they just don't understand what we're doing. And not that they don't understand what we're doing, they don't want it to happen, because a lot of people feel, because they've been here, because I've been told like several times in the last couple of weeks how long people been here. And when the way they say it, it's almost like they're telling me like, well, yeah, I've been here most of my life. And I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, yeah, you all like you only been here like 10 years, and I've been here all my life, and these people ain't gonna never change. And if I couldn't, if I'm here and they didn't change, that what make y'all think? This one person said that. What make y'all think y'all can change it? I'm like,
well, let's see. I've been here almost 3 years. Do y'all want me to list the things that's changed since I've been here that I've been a part of?
let me tell you something. There was not a music studio here. The music studio that was here before we got here did not record everybody. They only recorded Christians. So not just that, there's a lot of people, because of the art community, a lot of folks did not know about the black creatives unless they went through Clark or UD or Loris. Before her son got here. Son is a dancer, him and his friends. They came together and became dancers. Since we've been here for 9 years, a lot has changed. Some folks been here 30 years and have not seen change. You know why? Because it's just interesting how these people have all this knowledge they supposed to have, but they don't know anything about what's going on in their neighborhood. Like
Right.
before we got here, and I ain't gonna say, and I'm not saying we the wealth of information, but we went out beyond the expectations and networked. I have a mouthpiece, and a lot of people lack the art of networking.
Yes.
And it's not saying, I'm not saying that people are wrong. I'm not. Please understand. I'm not saying that y'all wrong. I'm saying that people are like throwing, turning their nose up. Like you can't. Like who are you? Like you can't do what we doing. That's pretty much, that's how I read it. Now I could be
Well,
wrong.
no, they don't know how to connect. It's interesting because Nicholas has been telling me for about a month or so now, you have to teach people how to do an introduction.
True.
Whereas we can go and, like I told you last night, hey, give me an introduction, and you did.
Yeah.
All right. Now, there's other people I can say, hey, introduce me, crickets. Crickets. All these connections, but crickets. I'm like, cool. Okay, so I'm learning more how to move around people because, number one, they're passive aggressive out here.
Very.
When you get ready to do something, everybody wants to jump on board, and once you actually get started, and it takes traction, it's kind of like, oh, we didn't know it was going to get this big. It's me, people.
Facts.
You're about to learn really fast of everything that I can do.
And and here's the thing. If people just, and I've met two other, like I not met, but I met one other person that's really trying to do things, and she's younger and she sees
Yeah.
the things that she don't like, right? She sees these things that she don't like, and she's making a commitment to change it. There's someone that's going through a doctorate program. He's been seeing it. He's making a change, and he's gonna stay. And here's the thing: when you cut yourself off from the world, because that's what we're in a place of that now. After what we've been interacting with, cutting myself off from the world. Not that I'm still gonna come out and network, but I'm cutting myself off from the world because it's gonna be less access to me. When you see me, you're not even gonna know I'm gonna be there. I know I'm behind the scenes. I know when things happen. A lot of people don't even realize it. That I know before. When you trying to be secretive, I know already. And it's not the fact that I want to know. It just so happened to come my way because people think that I know everything. They think that they're just like, oh, did you know about A, B, and C? No, I didn't know about that. But thanks for the information.
Yeah, I find out a lot of stuff that way. What I've also found is I'll be nice and say the busybodies.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that come sit with you, drop off a nugget here or there, and then go back to somebody else and drop off 2 nuggets.
I said that on video last night.
Yeah, but they don't even give you the barbecue sauce to go with it.
I told you, I said that on a video. I said, I don't trust people, and there's nothing you can do to make me trust you until I'm ready to trust you.
Right?
Yeah, we'll be done. We're going to be done in 10 minutes. So I don't trust you until I'm ready to trust you. And
You trust me?
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Like I said, like the number one I trust is that one in there because we sleep like we in the same bed, and if we didn't off each other or do anything, we trust each other, right?
Right.
But other folks, they don't even realize how I'm watching them move around. You tell me certain things, and you're talking about folks, and then next thing you know, I see you with them, or
Sliding all up on them like they best buddies.
and when I see this, I'm like, why do you come? And here's the thing, I don't keep the information. I am aware that you talked about this person, and then I see you with them. Like, why did you come tell me about? Like, I don't care who you're friends with. I don't care. Don't come talk to me about them because this is why a lot of people don't know our business. You telling me about them, I'm not going to tell you nothing. I'm not going to tell you how I feel about somebody because I get a lot of information from you. You're not ready to go and take information of other people. And this is the thing what I was saying. People are going to do that in the wrong place and at the wrong time, and their credibility will be shot while they're trying to make a name for themselves. That's all I'm saying.
I think I've watched people become more vain lately, but I don't know where the change is coming from, to where they're stuck on themselves, and they're constantly looking at themselves and putting themselves out there like they're one way, but they're really not. They're trying too hard to impress.
Okay.
And when you try too hard to impress, the ones that are working with you aren't impressed at all. You basically become ass out looking in saying, what did I do?
And you know, it's so funny because I've seen this happen many times. I've had people to do that. I had someone to, I had a couple of friends, and I wasn't one of the friends that I changed. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
grew up together. There was a lot of things that we were doing, and it was a lot of vanity and things that they were doing. I'm like, man, I got children, I got this, I can't do that anymore. Even though with me and my husband, no, me and Matt party. We party, but if we were in Chicago still right now, I would not be at the club. We have friends that go to the club 3, 4 times a week. We are in our 50s. How,
See,
how, how are you drinking? First of all, I am very concerned about my health. I don't want to have a heart attack. We are in the age of heart attacks, right?
I am a walking heart attack.
Exactly. One false move, and we saw it last night. Me and you was walking. We was almost like them ladies from the movie Death Becomes Her. If me and her fall, we gonna be like them. We gonna be in pieces and trying to help. She asking me, do I need help? We gonna be helping each other. So we have these people that's our age, and you can be young, you can act young. I know people that are very fit. They still have to be very careful because they over 60 years old. You know what I mean? So I've been through all of these different processes and progressions. That here's the thing: living, and people think like living a good life, or what's the other word? Changing your mindset. People think it's deeper than that. People don't know it's deeper than that. It is so deeper than that. And the reason why you won't see me dressing up I dress up. When I do dress up, I clean up nicely. But I ain't doing it every day. You know why? I don't have to. I know what I look like, and I'm beautiful, right? I don't have to dress up every day. I don't gotta look in the camera and look at all that, because this is me. I am okay with me. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people that live in that, and that's not getting your life together.
Well,
That's not getting your life together is up here.
what happens when they take the mask off?
But they're not. Here's the thing: when they take the mask off, the mask comes off when rock bottom is hit. When you hit rock bottom, you have no other choice but to be stripped down.
And then all you got to do is just look up.
You can't do anything. You can't move. Can't do nothing, and you feel at your lowest. I've been there. I can say that. I've
Yeah,
been there.
I've been there
I've been at my lowest.
a couple times.
There's no way. You ain't trying to look pretty. You ain't doing nothing, because at that point you are on your back, figuratively.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, when you are at that lowest, I know for me personally, there was a time I didn't shower. I didn't get out of bed. I didn't shower, and nobody could understand that level of empty. You know,
Yeah.
it's not even, oh, I feel bad. It's emptiness.
It's emptiness. It is.
And the people that you thought you could trust are the people that aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as something happens, you hear from them, and you're sitting there going, but when I needed a shoulder, like right now, I talk to you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're the only person I talk to all the time. Now, a friend of mine from grade school, so that's over 40 years of knowing each other.
Mm-hmm.
I value her opinion, and so I sent the link to her. Tell me what you think and everything. But I don't really talk to anybody like that. So it's for me to be comfortable talking to someone and say, you know what, there was a time when I tried to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
you know? And instead of saying, well, I'm glad you got over it, you were like, yeah, me too. And we sat there and talked about it. Both of us have shed tears. When you can relate to somebody on that level,
Mm-hmm.
you don't throw it away.
Exactly. And a lot of people haven't got there, because right now vanity and attention is what they're seeking, and don't realize, and that is the emptiness, that's the void they're trying to fill. And this is what happens. And please understand, I'm not degrading church. Church is a good thing to go to. People do need to be there and get the connection and feel if they're feeling low in their lowest points. Church is a very good thing, but there's also therapy you need to go to, because some people go sit in church and still feel empty, because they don't understand what's happening. Even with listening to the good stories and you can get delivered and all that, some people don't even they're not even that deep of this deliverance. They're just empty. And when you're empty, you looking good, you smelling good, people telling you beautiful, you are trying to, I know somebody that was going through men like left and right. They were empty. I can see it. I tried to reach out to her and talk to her, and she was like, oh, I'm going to do this and blah, blah. And I'm like, well, how are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. And then she started going on about what she's doing. I'm like, okay, you fine, but how are you doing? How are you doing? She didn't want to talk to me. So when I asked a question, I did something I did. I asked a question a different way about it, and she got quiet. Whatever happened, I asked her a question, and she got quiet.
You hit that nerve.
I hit a nerve, and she couldn't even get off the phone because at that point, she said, I'm tired. She said, I'm tired. She said, I'm just really tired. She's like, even though I'm having fun, but I'm tired. She said, I'm tired. And she's like, and I don't know. She's like, I'm lonely, but I'm tired. So when I'm listening to this, and it's like, I know because I see it on your face.
Right.
No matter how much makeup you put on, what all this stuff you doing, and how beautiful you are, it's in your eyes. I see it. I know you're not okay. I've been there. I know when I wasn't okay, people were pulling it out like, you're not okay. Like, yes, I am. No, you're not okay.
Right.
So you know what I mean. So these are the type of people that when they get to that point and they get their acceptance, their vanity is there and the acceptance of attention is there. They're okay right now because it's a high they're riding on.
Yeah, but is the acceptance really there? That's the part that people don't understand. There's acceptance, and then there's people that objectify you.
Well, here's the thing about that. You won't know the difference until you need something, until something goes down, and then you're victimized. You don't know nothing about acceptance until you're victimized, and that's when you victimize. Not when you're a victim, you claiming to be victim. You're actually victimized.
Yep.
That's when you find out the difference between being objectified or accepted.
And some people are about to get a rude awakening.
I hate to see that, but that is part of. Here's the thing: when you get I know people now. A coach. I have a health coach. Not my health coach, but a girl that went to Master Force together. She started with her journey and doing the stuff she's doing. She did all the inner work, right?
Okay.
She got to the point she can do her inner work. Now she's on the outer work. She's doing the one you said you like, the look good, the look.
Oh my God.
So she's doing bodybuilding. She's doing weight training and all that, fitness training. So now she was able to get her mind together. So now the vanity part, the outside is what she's doing because it's a mindset. Some people work from the outside in, some people work from the inside out. And the people that work from the outside in usually are the ones that crash harder because it affects them some kind of way. It takes a life event, a sickness or disease or something else to make them get to stop.
Now, self-confession, that's what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I talked to my friend before I came here, she's like, I told her, I'm like, yeah, everybody was saying that I was cocky. I was cocksure. And she's like, well, I never looked at it like that. I looked at it as you were bold. I was like, that was a good try to go around it. I said, I was very cocky. I was very vain. And then I told her what, since I last talked to her, what had been happening since then. She was in tears.
Wow.
She says, and you still want to do what you do, as far as like the women in the trades and teach and all that. And so after everything that's happened, all your illnesses, your disease, she's like, yeah, you still look the same, but you sound differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm humbled.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I realized before, I looked good. I was a bodybuilder. So I knew my shit didn't stink.
Mm-hmm.
I got humbled real quick.
Wow.
And that was from 2011 when things started happening. Losing my mom, sending Nicholas here. Things just started happening, bad relationship. It got worse and worse and worse until it almost killed me, for real.
Mm.
And to see now where I'm at compared to when I first got here, yeah. And then I saw the picture today that's almost 20 years old. I haven't seen it since it was taken.
Wow.
I was almost in tears.
Wow.
Because I was happy.
Yeah.
Like super happy. And then everything that happened afterwards turned my life upside down.
Yeah. And usually when you have on to bigger and better things, a lot of us don't remember, but there was a time that you did have a moment of reflection. You might have had a quick moment of reflection, like, I really want to do A, B, and C. Right? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like when we set out, we were like, once something goes on, clicks, and like, I want to do that. Then it's like universe, like, oh, you do? Well, let me put all this on you to see. So let's get it,
Right.
Like, and it's almost like, okay, I take it back. I don't really want to do this. Like, oh, no, you in it now. Let's go ahead, keep going. And it's like, you're in the race, just keep going. And that's what happened with me when I decided I wanted to write. Then I decided I wanted to help people. Throwing parties for kids, and then I want to, my purpose is helping people. I
Okay.
really want to help people. I really want to be a voice for folks. Not realizing that shit was about to hit the fan. Shit was hitting the fan. Like, wait a minute, hold on. I want you. Can you slow down? So my inner, because of a lot of health issues I have, that started coming first. So I had to get the inner together. So now my inner, like I'm, like balancing and all that. My inner peace is my mental capacity, right? So all of this is starting to happen that I never felt I was like a like beautiful, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I never been this vain person. I knew I was cute and I knew I looked good in clothes or whatever, but I never really. I still was self conscious. I'll put it that way, right? But when I started reaching out, when I started seeing how the world around me was looking, and I was hurt, and then I'm like, I wonder who else was going through this. And then when I decided I wanted to be a life coach, it was like, oh, you do? You want to help me? Okay, here it is. Here you go. Now, come back when you're ready to help everybody. Like come do this. And it was like, okay, I really don't want to do this anymore. I just want to live life. I just want to go to work, be married, go to work, and that's it. That didn't work. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm married, and then like, yeah, I'm bored. Can I do something else? And like, okay, now we're gonna work on this. So every progression, you got a new level of stuff to work on, and so this is, I guess, the level of work we do.
Yeah.
So people that we're talking about that are having these issues, they haven't got there yet. Like I said, some people work from the outer to in, some people work from the in and out, and some people don't get a chance to make it
Right.
because they wait too late because their ego stands in the way of their perfect peace.
Yes. And that's a lot of what I'm seeing
Yeah.
from people. But I digress.
Okay. Well, we are closing. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Doing this practice is Get Lit Convos. This is our format. We're gonna be here on Fridays at 4:00. Thank you again to Silent Recording Studios. Thank you to our commander at the station, Christian. Thank you, and we will see you all again next Friday, 4:00. On YouTube, we will post the links. I promise the links will be posted all on social media. We're going to upload this to our Substack podcast account. You all be able to go to Dub City, watch news, read our news, read what's going on in the neighborhood, read our articles, and you can listen to this replay again. Check us out on Dub City Radio, dubcityradio.com. We will play portions of this for your listening pleasure. And if you want to hear the rest of it, you can go over to our Substack, subscribe, and you can hear the whole podcast in its entirety. Until next Friday, I'll see you all later. This is your girl
Bye.
Goldie, and
Here's the Duchess.
this is Duchess running for the Fourth Ward of Dubuque, Iowa. So if you're a Dubuque, Iowa Fourth Ward person,
Get out there and vote for Carla Anderson for change.
March 1st.
March 1st.
Thank you all. Have a good